Niners.
Oh God, dear
Juicy.
God. All right, we are officially live again, or now. I don't know why I said again.
Poofa. All right, so where we got Denver series basically over, Celtics series it's over, Pictures are over. Bucks Heat interesting, Lakers interesting, Warriors interesting.
All right, let me put it on my story and we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, they got that weird insurance thing down there. Parking lot party,
Better tell them to shut up.
They're just loud.
All right. Are you living in the same spot next year?
Back to apartment.
Oh, okay. You happy about it? Yeah.
It's been an experience.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
1 year.
Oh, nice. Internet cut out before the pod. Cool.
Hopefully that's getting it over with. Not kind of things to come.
Yeah, hopefully it's
We'll see.
All right. You ready? Let's get the show on the road. All right, we're getting started. 3. Nope. Wait a second.
Good.
Am I good on your end?
Oh wait. Never looked at the audio. Like
All
5
right,
seconds.
Yeah. It looks like it's coming through, but
Okay.
is it good?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Let's get
My
started.
chewing.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
We had an interesting end to our week. I apologize. I had some scheduling problems and we had to cut the Friday pod. So here we are on a Monday. We're hitting this week hard. It's draft week. It's officially draft week. Feels like it's been forever. Feels like it's always forever before the draft. Feels like we have way too much
Yeah,
time
it's
to
like
talk
at
about.
least the whole month.
Oh, and it's like after the free agents happen in March, it's like, all right, well now the only thing we can talk about is the draft. And it's just like draft. That being said, finally draft week. We're not gonna hit any draft stuff today. Maybe with the Rodgers trade, which is finally happened. Feels like 3 years in the making, especially on this podcast. I know we've talked a ton of Rodgers the past year and a half, but that is finally done. So let's get right into it, Chris. And I'm gonna start off by reading the exact specifications of this trade. The Jets will receive quarterback Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15 in this NFL draft, pick 107 in this NFL draft, while the Packers get pick number 13 from this year's draft, pick 42, pick 207, and then a conditional second rounder that becomes a first rounder if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the year. Finally happened.
Did finally happen. And I know that I feel like people are probably going to be a little bit underwhelmed with what the Packers got back. They basically netted 2 spots in this year's draft, second rounder, and then that conditional second rounder will probably be a first rounder.
Yes, most likely.
So basically a 1 and a 2, which isn't a great haul for a guy who's won what feels like a billion MVPs, but he's also like 90 years old. We talked about the Jets not having a lot of leverage because some banging out here. Excuse the banging.
I didn't hear it, so I think we're good.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind. But because Rodgers had already said he wanted to go there, we said that took away the Jets' leverage. The Packers also had little leverage because he knew that he wasn't gonna play there.
Yeah, and he knew he was only going to one team. Yeah.
Right. So I'd be satisfied as a Packer fan just because the whole situation is done with.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you said, like it's finally over. We don't have to speculate anymore. That part of it's nice.
Yeah, and I think if you're a Packers fan, you look at it, you got a first round pick out of it. I think that's kind of what you wanted. I think that was pretty realistic. I mean, we saw Jalen Ramsey go for a third this year, just off contract and because of him wanting to leave. So they could have gotten a lot less in compensation, in my opinion. So I think getting the second round pick this year, moving up 2 spots for free, basically, and then you get yourself a first round pick next year, pretty solid deal, in my opinion. And the 42 picks, that's no joke. That's 10 picks out of the first round. So you can still get a couple blue chip
convince yourself that that's a first rounder.
Yeah. You say it's an early second, late first, Anyways, so when you look at this, who do you think won this trade, Chris?
I don't know if I would even pick a winner. Us, we won.
Yep.
Like you said before we got on because it happened and it's finally off of our agenda of things to talk about.
And it's finally sorry to cut you off, but it's finally feasible. We can actually see the compensation and see what exactly the final details are. It's no more speculation. There's no more maybe the Jets give this, maybe the Jets give that. And I gotta say, perfect timing by us. I just must have had a sixth sense. I moved the pod from 4 to 5 today.
Yeah, boom, that's right.
450. Here it comes.
Oh, it was 450.
I don't know. I saw it right when I got on the computer, so I don't know. But so I'm glad we got this happen beforehand. We're probably one of the first pods probably talking about it.
Other than live radio.
Yeah. One of the oh, sorry, I cut you off beforehand. What were you saying before?
I don't remember what I was saying, but something else that popped into my head was like, I almost feel at a loss for words because we already discussed basically everything about this trade other than actual compensation itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's no players in the trade, so it's like it feels like both teams kind of got what they wanted out of it. Like the Jets didn't have to give up any of their young guys. The Packers, obviously, they dumped the salary, and they get a couple early picks out of it, which is what they wanted. Other than that, like, basically already analyzed fit on the Jets, the Packers look like moving forward and everything, because this has been in the news for, at least a month now.
Yeah, I think
to the Jets has been in the news already.
Yeah, because he picked the Jets on Pat McAfee. There was a whole showdown when that happened. It was like a
LeBron decision.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the people in the comments are saying that the Jets fleeced, but I think honestly that you didn't give up too much. Yeah, you get a Hall of Fame quarterback. You finally get a stable quarterback in the franchise that you haven't had in years. And now I guess I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. I think their defense was really well last year. They'd have to prove themselves again and do that again this year. But the
comments people said that the Jets got fleeced or that they fleeced?
That they did fleece.
Okay.
A lot of the comments are saying that that the Packers were the ones that got fleeced. So Rodgers,
you'll have to remember that Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta remember
getting a first and a second round pick for a guy who's gonna play 3 more years of football.
Mm-hmm.
Probably if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he's won on back-to-back MVPs like the last or I guess 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago. Still, he's already started to decline a little bit. Physically, he's only going to be able to play in the league for more years. What's really like I don't know. I can't really say that they got fleeced.
No, I don't
It's a
think so
little-
either.
little
And it's
dramatic.
also what else? What else is the the Packers? I mean, of course, we were making jokes like, "Hey, give us Sauce Gardner, give us Garrett Wilson, fleece your get rid of your whole team for Rodgers." But that
Yeah.
realistically was just never going to happen. So now you don't have to pay him; he's off the books. You have Jordan Love already in there, and you have a couple draft picks to work with for Jordan Love. So it's a reset on them, and that's what it was always going to be. I mean, you're getting rid of a guy who's been playing, like 15, 16 years of football for you. So you're just going to have to reset. And what I like is so Joe Namath gave him his blessing to wear 12, but Mr. Rodgers is going with his old college number 8. So we're seeing a fresh.
So I saw that Photoshop with Schefter. That's why it's actually official that he's wearing 8.
Yeah. I was confused too by all the photoshops with 8, and it comes out. Adam Schefter reported, the new Jets quarterback expects to wear his number 8, the number he wore at Cal. I was like, new numbers. That's cool. That's an added wrinkle. I guess I didn't really.
LeBron
expect.
going back to 6.
Honestly, even though he never had 6 to begin with, he just. I think wasn't it Miami? So Miami has Michael Jordan's number retired. That's why he couldn't wear 20. Yeah, that's why he couldn't wear 23.
It's funny.
They're the only team in the league besides the Bulls to have Michael Jordan's number retired. All right, so we did talk about the fit in earlier episodes, but just for the people who haven't gone back, don't want to listen to old takes. Do you see them making noise in this playoffs, Chris?
Absolutely. Like you said, they do have to bank on the defense repeating their excellent season from last year, and the NFL, for whatever reason, when you have breakout defense one year, I feel like that's very tough to continue into the next year. If you look at some of those teams that have had breakout dominant defensive seasons, like Jacksonville.
Oh, you still see Jacksonville's defense on fantasy, and you're like, they could get
right.
Jacksonville. Like, you never know.
Yeah. Even like the 2020 Washington football team, I guess they were at that point, and like the next year just taking nosedive. So you have to bank the Bears with Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to bank on that defense not only being decent, but being really, really good again. Does have the weapons. Oh, honestly, their weapons are better than we had that last year in Green Bay. He's got Garrett Wilson, and he's got Breece Hall.
And he's got his boy. He got his boy Lazar. Yeah.
I do worry about decline continuing and change of scenery just not helping that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brady did it, obviously, but there were some growing pains. Rodgers, he's just not like on that same competitive level as Brady is, and I feel like if things get tough and there's like growing pains, he's just gonna be like, whatever. Like I'm making my money and got out of Green Bay.
Yeah, there's no with Brady when he went to the Bucs. Immediately it was the Belichick versus Brady debate. What can Brady do without the Patriots? Stuff like that. And there was almost a chip on his shoulder, even though he deserved no chip. He made it himself and became that competitive guy that you were saying, and immediately won the Super Bowl. So you're right. I don't see that competitive edge to it. And what I'm worried about, honestly, and it's been brought up this whole offseason, is how is he gonna deal with the New York media? I mean, he was in Wisconsin, for God's sakes, and couldn't stay out of the headlines. So everything he does in New York is going to be this big story or this big catastrophe.
I think he probably likes that, though, at this point. He loves being in the headlines.
I agree. I definitely think that he's going to eat that up. And hopefully, I mean, just from a team perspective, that doesn't feed into other guys on the team or affect the locker room or anything.
Well, for you, hopefully it does.
Yes, yeah, of course. I'm trying to be unbiased as possible.
What's your take on it as a Pats fan?
So, I mean, of course it makes the Jets better. It makes them a bet. I mean, their floor is officially raised to a playoff contender, and now you're in a division with you have probably the worst. As a Pats fan, you probably have the worst quarterback. You're going in with teams with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and now Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner on the other side, Breece Hall. It's an arms race in the AFC. And sorry, did I lose you?
You're good.
Cool. So when you're in the AFC, you just got to get whatever you can to compete with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and that's what they did here. So I remember when we were talking about it, I'm still not scared of Rodgers. Still not scared of an old man Rodgers. But does it put a little sense of hope into Jets fans? Yeah, because I'm feeling the opposite here. A little bit of fear is lingering, but it's not anything that I'm losing sleep over. That being said, this could also go very, very poorly. Do you see a world? I see the vision. I see the world where this could go very poorly, where his receivers aren't doing what he wants. He's not getting the protection that he wants. I mean, I think they're definitely drafting an offensive lineman now. We mocked that when we did our mock draft. I think both of us picked an O lineman to go into the Jets.
Yeah, I think we did.
And so now they definitely just get anything to protect Rodgers, stifle up that defense if he can later in the couple rounds. But yeah, I mean, they got a good team. I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl or anything, but they might get I don't know if they're beating the Bills still, but they can definitely be second in division, make it to the playoffs, win a playoff game or two. But so that's how I'm feeling with them.
Right, there's two like opposite ends of the spectrum here. The one way you look at it is this is a 7-10 team, good young players on both sides of the ball. They went from Zach Wilson, Mike White, to Aaron Rodgers, which might be the greatest quarterback upgrade season to season of all time, because Zach Wilson was atrocious.
Yeah.
Other aspect of it is he's old, he's a diva. He doesn't like playing with receivers who aren't his best friends, like Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, and Randall Cobb. And they're 3-7. He finds a way to sit the rest of the season, and then he retires. That's the way that I look at it. It's like it is boom or bust.
I absolutely love that. You're right. They have a rocky start, lose the first 5-6 games. Maybe they win a couple.
Like, you know what?
He's like,
I really don't need to keep playing. I'm rich enough. One more year, $50 million. I'll take that. I'll sacrifice the next year.
Well, and that's what is confusing to me. Something you got to be confused about if you're a Jets fan is this guy in it for the long haul? Is this guy in it for one season? As you said when we talked about the package, is he in for 1 season, 2 seasons, maybe 3? You could push out of him.
I feel like best case scenario is 3.
But he's contemplating
the contract
retirement.
Is 2 more years, right?
I believe so.
He signed a 3-year extension.
Yes, I believe so.
That was last year.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's weird though. Did it kick in yet? I don't know. Did the extension ever kick in, or did he?
I don't know.
So when you look at that, I mean, he's contemplating retirement the past 2-3 seasons, probably even more. So you're sitting yourself, and the other thing is you got to look at is you did it with Brett Favre. You did the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
It's weird. It's actually really weird.
Yeah. So let's see how this works out with the Jets. I mean, they're cursed no matter what. So if this could be just a retelling of the same story. I want to read a comment on this Twitter post from PFF. Shows the trade compensation. It says who won the trade, and this guy. I'm not gonna say this just in case. The Packers. As a Jets fan, I'm done with this organization. We drafted an elite talent, 2nd overall, and never gave him a real chance. then sold the future for a part-time drug addict. It's a never-ending cycle with this franchise. I don't know how. So he thinks Zach Wilson never got a fair shot. What world am I
I
living
mean,
in?
that has to be like a troll, right?
I'm gonna see if he commented again, because all right, he's
Part-time drug addict. Like likes to do
One-
psychedelics. I don't think that
one of the comments.
qualifies him
One,
as a drug addict.
is this Zach Wilson's burner account? And two, is this Zach Wilson's MILF's burner account? Yeah, I mean, this has to be some sort of troll. I don't think there's actual Jets fans that feel this way. But
No, I think the Jets are so desperate for good quarterback play.
They have
would've,
to be.
like sold a kidney for Aaron Rodgers.
and how could any other any other Jets fan ever want to see Zach Wilson play for them again?
No, it was one of the biggest busts of our lifetime. I think. I remember
I know.
like seeing him. They were comparing his numbers to Jamarcus Russell.
Yep.
He's like, if you're ever in a sentence with Jamarcus Russell,
you
that's
know you're done
not a
for.
good thing.
Yep.
Like notoriously the biggest bust in NFL history.
So it's funny to look at just that. Zach Wilson, do you think he's ever getting a shot again?
Can end up like Rosen, I think, where he just bounces around. So no, I guess would be the answer to the question. He ends up like Rosen. I don't know, maybe on a tanking team like the Dolphins were that one year, and even them, like they couldn't even start him.
I know.
Had to go back to Fitzpatrick.
They
That's where I see his career going.
Yeah, I could see that. Some team maybe taking a flyer on him as a backup, and then maybe he'll find his way playing for the 49ers in an NFC Championship or something. All right. Actually, before we move on from the NFL, another quarterback that has been breaking news from a Woj bomb in the middle of the pod. Ime Udoka has become the next head basketball coach of the Houston Rockets.
Boy,
He's back.
Good roster.
Ime is back. No, terrible roster. Okay, we'll get to that when we're talking about the NBA, but just keep that in mind. One thing I wanted to talk about with the NFL before we move on is, have you been hearing the Trey Lance rumors?
What, of them trading him?
With
Purdy.
The Niners trying to trade him and them fielding calls for him.
I haven't heard like a mock trade yet to anybody, but I've heard that they're looking into it.
That is got to be, who is calling them for Trey Lance?
Wouldn't call for Trey Lance?
What have I seen from Trey Lance?
That's the
Seen
point.
him injured.
You get him at a discount.
Yeah, that's true. And there's always, I guess when you think about that, there's always it's an upside trade. You're trying to trade for an upside.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, if you were the Niners, what would you take for a Trey Lance trade?
If you're saying that Purdy's the guy, if you're actually committed to him, which I don't even know if I would be.
No, I don't know how you would be either.
I think I'd rather have Lance than Purdy.
Well, the thing with me is you've had him for.
I'd keep them both though. You have a perfect roster.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. First, why are they fielding calls? Because you haven't been able to see him play. He sat behind Garoppolo that one year, and then was injured all of last year. So you got to see about maybe 4 games of him, if that. And if you're trying to trade him,
they played a game in the swamp in Chicago.
Yeah, and then didn't he get injured immediately afterwards?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so you got a game and a half of him, and a couple preseason games. And in that game, they lost.
Not even half a game. He threw 3 passes.
Yeah.
Second week.
So, I guess there, as you said, there's always upside, and someone will find a way to deal with him. But I don't know how you give up on a guy that you traded up for, drafted so highly, and I know that's sunk cost at this point. You can't get those picks back. You're not gonna get those picks back. But what do you do if you're the San Francisco 49ers?
I would keep them both and then start either one of them. if one of them sucks, then you just go to the other one. I know we always say, like, oh, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none, but not like they desperately need one of them to be like a superstar.
Yeah, and
They
you
just
have
need to be decent to get to the playoffs.
you
And,
still
like,
have him on a
I'd
rookie
roll with
contract.
Lance, and if he can become at least a fraction of what you expected him to be, then you're in great shape. If Purdy is the Purdy from last year, you're also in great shape. But both of those things could end up not happening.
Yeah, I agree, and I just don't see what team would be desperate enough to give up a pick in this draft for the potential of a guy who hasn't been on the field and barely played college. So it's really a weird situation. It'll be interesting to see if he does get traded on draft day. As you said, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the Niners should keep both of them. And why not try him out again? Like, there's no reason not to, in my opinion. So I just thought that was weird, and I wanted to bring it up.
Other than, like, ego-wise,
Mhm.
who will one of them? Because Purdy can say, took you to an NFC championship,
Mhm.
which is a good argument. Lance can say, you drafted me number 3 overall. I was your starter last year and didn't get a fair shot, which is also a fair argument. So,
Yeah.
it will be something to keep an eye on for sure. But I think trading him would be dumb.
I agree. All right. With the woes bomb that I said, let's move on to the NBA. Ime Udoka, we'll start with him before we go to the playoffs, just because it just happened. I think he's the right coach to try to get into the. He's a hard coach. He's not gonna play with bullshit. So those guys John Wall, we talked about his quotes, how those guys aren't the real deal. They wouldn't be on other NBA teams, and that there would be basically like they're like unprofessional. So that this will be a good guy to bring him in, get in their heads, get in what they need to do. I think it's the right direction for the team. Let's see if Ime can keep it in his pants and make sure that he doesn't get suspended again. So I think that hello.
You're back.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Second.
They have a lot of cap space this offseason. They got a lot of stuff to work with. Oh, I'm sorry. We lost some comments. We had some comments in here. All right. Well, then Wyatt, a classic, putting on plus 1,500 for the Jets or plus 280, 2,800 on the Jags. He said, put your house on it. I don't know if that's to win the Super Bowl or to win the AFC, but bold bets by Wyatt over there.
They're both bets.
Damn, I should have looked at these earlier. Actually, it was 2 minutes ago, so it really wasn't that bad. But he also said, how do you feel about Jimmy G fitting on the Raiders? You want to do that right now real quick?
Not exciting.
Yeah, I see it as an upgrade over Derek Carr, just because, as we've talked about, Jimmy born winner. He's with Josh McDaniels, a system that he's been with before. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And I'm rooting for I'm always rooting for Jimmy, so that's how I feel about it. All right, we're back to basketball, and I'm done with Ime too. Hopefully, he keeps his dick in his pants. All right. So, another news just broke out.
I just say that when that happened, you were like in shambles.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
And I was the one who calmed you down, so I'm just gonna take credit for that.
He's a good coach, though.
It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter that much. He did set a tone for the Celtics last year. Set a tone defensively, which the Rockets haven't had defense in forever. So that should help them.
Since I've been alive.
And and if they get Wemby, he's got a great piece to work with. So interesting situation.
It'd be funny if they like screwed in the lottery and ended up with like the 4th pick.
Yeah, they don't even give.
It's like, never mind.
He's like, actually, no, I'm just gonna go for whoever gets the first overall pick. So there's been another. I don't know if it's Woj. I didn't see Woj tweeted, but it's NBA on TNT tweeted out that DeJounte Murray is out, suspended for Game 5.
I saw that.
Because, well, did you see the video that he
didn't know.
after the game?
Catch up on it now.
After the game, he all the they're shaking hands, walking off the court, and he just bumps into the ref, like on purpose. He just like mean mugs the ref and then walks away. I I don't think it deserves a suspension, but that being said, with how the NBA has been on suspensions, especially in this playoffs already, how do you make a move like that when you're down 3-1? He's the best player on the team. I've watched the series every game. DeJounte Murray is the best player on this team. And now you're just it's done. It's over. It was already a little bit
It's
over
over
before.
already.
Yeah, I agree. But now you really have no shot. No shot of trying to get back in this series. And you're gonna I just feel like it's a sacrifice that didn't need to happen. And it's kind of stupid. But that being
I
said,
mean, it's just emotions getting the best of a guy, and you probably figure that you had to even up the series at 2 at home, have a shot because now you have to win 2 in Boston,
mhm.
another at home, which is impossible. So doesn't really change the trajectory of the series that much, but it's a shame.
I agree. I think it's a shame too. I want to see the best players out on the court. Want to see the best players out there. And the suspensions have been weird. Like Joel Embiid didn't get suspended or ejected for kicking Nick Claxton in the nuts, but then Harden gets ejected for hitting someone else in the nuts. That game was a fiasco that we'll talk about in a little bit. And the NBA needs to make it make sense. So,
Hmm.
but I guess that's how they're doing it. That's how they're rolling. So
I mean, we did get the Draymond suspension, which we asked for.
yes, that is true. That is definitely true. So they did make it right there. That was I feel like that was weird too, but I don't know. I think that was justified. We talked about it. We thought it was justified. That being said, Hawks Celtics. The Hawks did win a game, their first game at home. They just bad shooting night from the Celtics. It was late in the game. Tatum could make a 3 to tie it up. It was just one of those threes. Felt like it was going. It just didn't go in, didn't hit. But they righted the ship. Tatum got I think him and Brown both got 31 last night, and I've now taken a 3-1 lead over the Atlanta Hawks with now no DeJounte Murray. So that seems like that should be wrapped up pretty soon. A series that we already mentioned and has been wrapped up is the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. The 76ers completed the first sweep of the NBA playoffs and the first one of the first round. The Nets, they couldn't keep up. In all these games, they'd always keep crawling back. They'd always keep it lingering, but they just could never get over the hump over this 76ers team.
No, I mean they're not good.
No, they're not.
Like, for lack of better analysis, this is just not a good team. I mean, when you're built around KD and Kyrie, and you trade them both away, you just kind of have to throw pieces together. And they did a good job doing that. And, I think Bridges benefited from it, him being the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dinwiddie back, who was pretty good for you, but they're not even a playoff team. It's 82 games of this team is not a playoff team. Being said, the Sixers had to sell Joel Embiid's knee in this series.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's going to be like for the Celtics series, but that sucks.
76ers, Joel Embiid, probability 50% for the start of the next series.
I saw that.
So
it's not good.
No, and it's where they seem like they always end up. See, even when even last year, they're facing the Raptors in the first round. They're taking care of business. They're doing a similar thing. Bam, Joel Embiid gets hit in the face, and he's out for the couple games in the next series and has to come back with a mask. It's every year, and I hate saying it, but I win during the season and during his MVP run. It seems like it'll probably get announced that he's the MVP pretty soon, and it was always when it's not if, it's when Joel Embiid gets hurt. You just got to hope it's not at the wrong time. And here it is, right at the wrong time. They still got Harden. They still got Tobias Harris, Maxey. Maxi's been great for them. Harden's been decent, but this team runs with Joel Embiid, and if he's not out there making defensive plays, running the offense through him, flopping all over the place, then they're not gonna be able to last. So you're right. We probably should have seen the Nets getting swept, and I know we probably talked about it a little bit, but we always thought that there was some feist in them, and you're right. They're not a great team. So luckily they get this rest. They get at least an extra day if the Celtics don't because they didn't take care of business and sweep. So they could possibly get an extra day if the Hawks squeak out a win tomorrow. But they're gonna have to rest up, make sure Joel Embiid's healthy because they're gonna be facing the Celtics in the next round.
Yeah. You almost like consider holding him out for a game, maybe even two. Make sure he's 100% when he comes back. Because I don't like if he's 50% when he comes back, then like he's not getting any better. Have half of Embiid the whole series. Like, would you rather have that, or would you rather have at full strength the rest of the series? It's tough because like, or you could say, well, the first two are going to be in Boston anyway, and they would be tough games to win. Like, you're almost expecting to go back to Philly on 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what the specifics are of the injury. I just read that like it's a week or two, and said it's going to be 1, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how he feels. I don't know if that's like 1-2 weeks before he can play at all, or before he's like full strength again.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. All the Sixers fans are definitely gonna keep a wide eye on this. I just wanted to look at the comments again. We got some woohoo for the NBA chat, so that's great. And then the Walker, avid Hawks fan, said that the Hawks are gonna get dicks so badly.
I thought he was confident last time.
He was.
On here.
He was. Now I think he knows Trae Young isn't him, and he loves DeJounte. So that's
okay.
He's not in a good place right now. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at Joel Embiid. You got to see when he's going to get healthy. And you're right. If he comes back and he's only 50% of Joel Embiid, is that going to hurt you guys out there? Or is it gonna make his injury worse and eventually worsen that throughout the thing? And this stuff, like, I know it quote unquote benefits my Boston series. Hopefully it'll hopefully help them out. But you want to see the best players out there, even when they're facing your own team. You want to beat the best to be the best, and it sucks that this injury happened yet again.
Yeah, it's not like you've had a problem with him.
No, exactly.
Embiid's healthy.
Yeah, and I want to beat the 76ers with Embiid, you know? I don't want the Sixers fans to come back, oh, you know, we would have beat you if Embiid was fully healthy or if he played more games or whatever. Like, that just gives them an excuse. I want to beat them when they're at full strength. And hell, if we lose to them in full strength, then, you know, that's how it went. It's how the cookie crumbled. So definitely interesting updates throughout the week to come back with that one. Another injury and a series I want to talk about was Giannis Antetokounmpo. He missed game 2 and game 3. The Bucks were able to beat the Heat in game 2 pretty handedly. The Heat just couldn't get their offense moving, but then it comes game 3 and it's the same. It's the story that happened in game 1 where Miami somehow figures it out and blows them up. So now Miami's not going to have, they don't have Oladipo now. They haven't had Tyler Hero. So they're coming in with scrappy guys. Duncan Robinson got 20 points for him. Like, they're just going to find some guys like they always do to get them some points. And it's now looking like it's 2-1 series. This is the Bucks need Giannis, and I don't know what his update is either.
I read that he's planning to come back tonight.
Okay. Yep. Return from back injury.
Changes everything.
Yeah. I agree, but that's the thing is,
that's not like a hot take or anything.
Yeah. And the thing is, they have to win this game. They have to win this game. They can't have it be a 2-2 series. and it's I mean, I don't know how much Miami has a home court, but you're not at home, and they need to win they need to win this game. They can't be down 3-1, even with Giannis. Like just that being down 3-1 would just be uh, like traumatizing for the Bucks. So they need to figure it out this tonight, and it'll be interesting to see because just like we were talking about Embiid, is Giannis fully healthy? Is Giannis 50%? Um,
Right.
so we'll have to see. And I'm just impressed by the Heat taking control of this series, even without Giannis.
And the thing about not knowing whether or not or like how healthy he really is, we're not going to know until he's on the floor.
hmm
You can see like how he plays in a full speed game. But right, they have to win tonight because you get him back and you're like, all right, well, we're fine now, but you've already dug yourself a hole in this series, and if the Heat can just steal one game, even with a healthy Giannis, like they're still at home, and all of a sudden you're down 3-1.
hmm
Then it's not like, all right, no worries, our star's back. If it's 2-2, you're like, all right, it's a 3-game series, and we're much better now that we're healthy. But when you're down 3-1, that's a whole different story.
hmm
Much bigger difference.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a massive game tonight. Starts at 7:30, and that it'll be a pivotal game for the series. And you're right. You need to see how Giannis is immediately. You need to get him out there. He needs to be in full speed. He can't be. He can't take a quarter, the first quarter off. He can't take any quarters off. And they need to win this game. All right, what series you want to pop to next?
We can go with the other game tonight.
Yeah. Lakers Grizz. Uh, so this one I wanted to pull up so I tweeted last time that the Lakers Grizzly were playing that it was I had bets out on our podcast account. I had an alternate pick of the the Celtics winning because Ja was out, and we got a comment from Aaron Barton saying that I'm trying to get it. Where was it? All right, here it is. So he said that Memphis showed out last year without Ja. Ja forced it too much. Tyus Jones is an efficient point guard in this league, and their field goal percentage and total
Dear.
turnovers are down when there's no Ja. He was right.
He's saying that they're better without Ja.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. And there's been the past couple years with Ja. There has been many times where he's been injured, and the team has been just fine without him. And this has been an argument throughout last year's playoffs because we saw him do it without Ja a couple times through all of last year and this season. So, I mean, of course they're not better without Ja, right?
Right?
I think so. I mean, they won without him, and then immediately got blown out when he came back. So, and they kept it close. They got it close at the end, but it was a blowout the whole time. So
The game where he got like a billion points too.
Yeah, he got 45. He got 13 assists too, 9 rebounds. So he's helping out the team. The rest of the team just couldn't keep up. I mean, he had two other players, Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. in double figures, and no one else in double figures. So it'll be interesting to see how they play again tonight with Ja. And you had, I mean, it wasn't great numbers. You got 31 from Davis. And 17 rebounds. I didn't even see that. God damn. 25 from Braun. And pretty average numbers from everyone else. Rui, by the way, has still been good.
Rui.
Rui's really playoff Rui. We were right about playoff Rui. But so this will be another interesting game. See if the Grizzlies can tie it here. The funny thing is a lot of this analysis is like all kind of the same. Like if it's 2-1, they need to the team down 2-1 needs to win this game, or else it's almost storybook closed. And so now this is a must win for the Grizzlies at LA. So that's against them. LeBron at home. This Lakers team at home. This is the second playoff game they've gotten in, I think they said it was like 11 years, home playoff game because the
Is it
bubble.
really?
Oh, it was sorry. It wasn't the actual playoff game, but a playoff win. Their win against the Grizzlies was like their first one in like 11 years at home in the playoffs.
Oh.
So
I guess that makes sense. I mean, they were awful before LeBron.
yeah, and when they finally made it, it was the first round against the Suns, and I think they got swept or close to it.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
then the other year was the bubble. So
Right.
I gotta see if Aaron Barton's right here. If they lose tonight, I like, you don't shut down Ja Morant. You don't try to trade Ja Morant. But can they find better how can they possibly work better without him? That we've seen. I mean, we've
I don't
seen
know.
it.
I mean, it could be a coaching thing. It's like you have to have somebody come in and run the offense through the team and not through a single player. Like Phil Jackson did,
Mhm.
Michael Jordan. Not trying to compare John Morant to Michael Jordan, but like there's definitely merit to what he's saying in the comments.
Yeah, and when I'm looking at it right now,
Like if you score 45 and you still lose, that's not, based on what we've seen without him, that's not saying a signal that it's the whole team. The other guys need to step up. It's like maybe he is forcing it. Like maybe he was the issue.
so when you look at the stats, the Grizzlies in game 2 without Ja Morant had 10 turnovers. And in game 3, if I read that correctly, I'm just double checking. Yeah, they had 18 turnovers. So that's 8 more with Ja Morant in the field. Of course, I'd have to look at the film and see if it was all Ja. But that right there, I mean, it tells you that maybe he is forcing it. And when you look at the box score of the two games, you see that there's a lot more points scored by everyone else. There's a lot more consistency, a lot more people in double figures, where maybe there's some merit to what good old Barton's saying.
Not better without him.
No, yeah, let's get that clear. They're not better without him. But there might be some lingering side effects to having Ja Morant.
It's not perfect.
All right. Cavs Knicks. The series that, I mean, this series has been incredible. I know, I mean, the Cavs were down bad, or sorry, yeah, the Cavs were down bad earlier in this game. They came back, made it a close game in the fourth, and Jalen Brunson is just, he's the guy that the Knicks have been looking for years now, it feels like. Clutch performer, controls the offense, the drink stirrer, as I said on Twitter. And, well, honestly, I said that for Darius Garland, but same applies for Brunson. And this Knicks team is like, they were able to do it with benching Julius Randle in the fourth quarter, which was the right move. So they got a lot of guys. There's some depths on this team. Hartenstein, I really like. He gets a lot of boards. He didn't score a lot the last game, but he gets a lot of boards. Plays good defense. Mitchell Robinson's been good. Jalen Brunson's excellent. RJ Barrett, after I was pooping on him on Twitter yesterday, turned up in the
Why did
second
you say
half.
he was washed?
He was bad. He was taking some bad shots, and I was like, this is terrible. Like, I don't want to watch this guy. And then immediately he proved me wrong. And
He's 22.
he ended with 26. Oh, he's only 22.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you said he was washed.
Yeah, it was more of a joke. It was more of a joke than actual analysis. But yeah, he's working into his role. He started playing great in the second half, and when he's popping off, the team's really good. So they got a lot of guys that I like on this team, and it's looking like, think about it. They take care of business here, beat the Cavs, maybe quicker than people expected if they win. They have to do go to Cleveland on Wednesday, but let's just say they take care of business. They go there, and now you're facing a possibly unhealthy Bucks and a possibly or a Heat team that is poopy from what we've seen, and I mean, of course they're the Heat, so they always come back and find some players resurrect from the dead. But you're looking at what if the Knicks could go to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Weren't you saying, like, on Twitter also, are you crazy for being scared of the Knicks?
I'm scared of Brunson, man. And honestly, the Knicks have played the Celtics really well this year. Every time they play, it's always a great game. So I kind of am scared of the Knicks.
Excuse my sneezing that might interrupt my talking. I can see that scenario. I can also see a scenario where they blow a 3-1 lead. Just because, like, how Knicks would that be?
Yeah,
We give them all this credit. Like, they basically dominated this series.
yeah.
They kicked the Cavs' ass in Game 3
Mm-hmm.
at home. Then their night won with Randall on the bench for the whole fourth quarter. So it's been a great series, but the Knicks have in full control. Game 5 goes back to Cleveland. I'd be surprised if they wrap it up there. And then 6 at the Garden. It'd be the perfect story. The Knicks get to clinch their first playoff series in God knows how long at home. And they choke. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in a Game 7.
In Cleveland.
Not that I want it to happen. I actually like the NBA more. The Knicks are good. But
Oh, definitely.
I would not be surprised at all if that happened.
You have a great point. It would be total Knicks if they do find a way to blow this 3-1 lead and completely tear the hearts of all their fans. But as you also said, the basketball is more fun when the Knicks are playing or in the playoffs. And they're more fun when the fans are hyped. They're already calling out Spida Mitchell for not coming to New York this offseason, which it wasn't on him. It's not like he would rather go to Cleveland than New York, but this has been a great series so far. And it's when I'm looking at the Cavs side, Evan Mobley just needs some weight on him. He's getting bullied out there. He's getting bullied. Donovan Mitchell had a terrible game in Game 4, and Darius Garland had to do it all. When he's on, the team is humming and he's making great plays, but he can't do it all. He needs to see, more rebounds from Jared Allen. He only had 4. And Evan Mobley, as I said, just needs some more weight on him. He needs to be a bigger presence come in the future of the Cavaliers basketball.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in both those guys because we were talking, or at least I was talking before the series started, that this was going to be an old school series with the strengths down low, the old school big men. And you saw that in Game 3 where there were, like 180 total points scored, which is disgusting for today's game. But yeah, I thought those big boys, like Mitchell Robinson has had a great series. Next, I thought those big boys would be more effective.
I agree. When the guards are going off, you need some balance with the front court. And if Donovan Mitchell's having a bad night, that's when Jared Allen and Evan Mobley need to step up. That's when they need to score 20. They need to score 30. And I think they will get there. Evan Mobley is what? He's like 21 years old. So he's going to learn. He's going to figure it out. But the past 3 games, 12, 10, 13, that's not what you want from a guy who was the 3rd overall pick and should be your franchise player. But we got a long road ahead of him for him. So
Thibodeau defense too.
Thibodeau, yeah.
You gotta give him some credit.
You do gotta give him some credit. Yeah, and
he does.
You gotta give him credit for benching Julius Randle. It was the right time to do it. It worked out perfectly. Yeah. So you definitely gotta give him credit. But this Cavs team, there's a bright future. They need to figure it out this series, though. All right. Suns Clips. So first of all, I want to say all this is so overreaction based. I remember Game 1, we're like, what are the Suns gonna do?
Yeah.
What were the Suns?
Well, I remember trying to say look, it's only been a game.
Yeah.
Although we were this series can be more interesting. Like, this might be the best series of the playoffs.
Hey, what we couldn't predict,
Uh,
though, was Kawhi getting injured at the end of game 2.
And that was the other thing that I was going to say is for all of the talk about how much load management Clippers and Kawhi to get injured is like, it's very ironic.
It's so ironic. And it's like, we should have, like, I should have put a bet on this. Should have been, there had to have been odds somewhere. It's just Clippers luck. The Clippers will never, they're a cursed franchise as well. And now you have to do, like, your team's completely different. Your team is completely different. And Russell Westbrook has done his best to try to keep this a series, try to keep this every
awesome.
game. Yeah, he's honestly been really, really impressive. And for as much slander as he gets when he plays bad, he needs the recognition when he plays really good. So the past 3 games for him has been 37, 30, 28, with good assist numbers, great rebound numbers, and it's been like, this is like the Westbrook we saw on the Wizards that one year, or later in his OKC prime. So he's really regenerated himself in this playoffs, and like, there has to be just some fuel that just like, there's a chance I can play the Lakers. There's a chance, like, every bucket and every sweat drop, he's just like, I'm tired, but I need to face the Lakers in the playoffs. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without Kawhi, no Paul George, they're still a deep team. There's still a lot of guys on this team that'll help them out, but it's just not going to be good enough when you're facing Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yeah, definitely.
That's as simple as it gets.
I've been distracted because I was looking up Kawhi Leonard, and there's a headline that his sister was sentenced to life in prison for murder.
I saw that yesterday.
I had not seen before. That's a wild story.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about either, but I saw that yesterday, and all I saw was Kawhi Leonard, and then I saw life in prison. I was like, whoa,
slow down.
What's going on here?
Yeah, but the Suns have 3 guys that can take over a game at any point, and we saw it. Game 4 was Chris Paul. This was a close game throughout, and then Paul literally took the game over in the 4th quarter. Couldn't miss a shot. It has been fun to see Westbrook, like, basically vintage Westbrook when we all buried him, especially after game 1 where he made game-saving play, but he also shot 3 of 19. But he's back, which is fun. No Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard. That's really all you can say.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Yeah, he's out still. Because I saw a thing on Twitter. It says that Paul George is not on the injury report. But I said he was out for the whole first round. So I don't know if I'll try to update that by the end of the episode. But I haven't seen anything that he's...
Suns' depth is still an issue.
Yes. And playing...
Like, you're getting over 40 minutes from Booker and
I was going to say,
38 from
every
Chris Paul
game,
is a
too.
fossil.
Every game, they got to get 40-plus minutes from these 2 guys.
Yeah.
And that's squeaking out wins versus Westbrook and Norman Powell. So that's not going to be able to. That's not sustainable. When they face a team that has their superstars, doesn't have injuries, that's going to be a problem. They need to find ways to cover the wings. That's why Kawhi was so good when he was playing. And 40-plus minutes every game for Kevin Durant. It's sadly, I don't want to manifest anything, but he's going to get injured playing that way. We've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
We've seen it throughout his whole career. So they need to have some guys step up and play more minutes, and they just don't have them. They just don't have the guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it chugging. I didn't even realize that the Timberwolves won last night. Huh.
Yeah, that was like the predicted sweep that we had, I think.
Yeah, and Anthony Edwards, after they lost game 3, he did come out and say, this will not be a sweep. We will try, we'll do our best, in God's name, this won't be a sweep. So he got what he wanted there. Man, Jokic got 43. How did I miss this game? Seems like an awesome game. I missed it.
It's because the series is irrelevant.
Yeah, I know. That's
Pull
really
teeth to get one win.
that's true. 43 from Jokic in a loss, but 34 from Edwards. Not 17 from Karl Anthony Towns, 14 from Gobert. So there's no way the Timberwolves come back and take this. But looking into next year, you need to have more scorers around Anthony Edwards. You can't have him doing everything. So
I have guys that aren't soft.
yeah,
Cat's soft.
yeah, he
Did you see
is.
the tweet that said Anthony Edwards has that dog in him, but the rest of the team has cat? So like Gobert is kind of a joke. You know, he puts up big rebound and block numbers, and he's an amazing defender, but he can be neutralized so easily in the playoffs, and it just doesn't fit with him and Towns.
No, and we
It's
said
like
this
he's
when they
out of his
traded
era.
for him. Yeah, we said
You
this
know.
shit when they traded for him. I mean, it's been the same story all year with the Timberwolves. I'm glad they snuck out a win here. They didn't get swept, which is always nice, a nice gentleman's sweep. But I don't expect them to make any more noise. And goddamn, I wish I watched this game. Seems like an excellent game. Oh well. Speaking of excellent games, Warriors Kings can produce nothing but that. The series is now 2-2. As you said accurately, on when they were up 2-0, you said, hey, the series doesn't start till the home team loses. In the Chase Center, the Warriors snuck out 2 wins. They're back. The series is tied. It's best of 3. And this has just been a spectacular series. It's been fireworks all around, high offensive plays, and
Drama.
yeah, real drama. I heard poor Kings.
What?
De'Aaron Fox fractures index finger, doubtful for game 5. That just sucks. That just absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
The best player on the Kings has been the best player all season. He got Clutch Player of the Year, which is he's the first annual Clutch Player of the Year, which is kind of cool. And God, so now talk about overreactions. We're talking about them possible sweep. The Warriors are done, and I should have known that they were just gonna crawl back, win the 2 at home, and now without De'Aaron Fox, they might take care of business in Sacramento, and this could be done in 6.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't win at home, then they're screwed. Because I don't think there's any way they win a game 6 in Chase Center. Did he finish the game?
Yeah,
Did he finish game 4?
Yeah, he did. I guess because he played 40 minutes. I think he injured it right at the end.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, I'm seeing like the play was with 4 minutes left in the game. Yeah, that sucks. That was like a perfect setup for it. It was the series has been the best with drama, like closest games. Then the best player on one of the teams is out.
I know when you get 2 games that end 126, 123, 126, 125. I mean, it's a fireworks show, and just to have the best player on this fun young Kings team, they're finally facing their demons in winning a playoff series. They're finally in the playoffs after 17 years. Now they have to go back home without De'Aaron Fox after a game where Keegan Murray finally resurrected himself and they missed a buzzer beater to win it.
Mhm.
It sucks. There needs to be better defense from Sabonis. He's been all right. He was great in the second game that they won, and he was great in actually no, they were all pretty terrible in the first Warriors game at home for the Warriors. And now it's all on him, and it's on Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter. They need to step up.
Huerter to step up. Huerter's been bad.
Huerter's been real bad.
You out, Kev.
Yeah, we need to call him out. He's been horrendous this series, like really, really bad.
Horrendous.
Which just sucks because that was one of the best pieces on the team. I mean, I feel like everyone loves Kevin Huerter. How can you not love the Red Velvet? So that's a shame. Hopefully you can get his shot back. Hopefully they can keep this series close, take that game in Sacramento. But it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. All right. That's it.
I
That's
feel
all
like there's
series.
one we're missing. Is it?
Bucks Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
All
So,
the grounds.
for tonight, and let's do tonight and tomorrow night because we have we'll have a Wednesday pod, so we'll be able to do those. But let's give out some picks. I'm going to look at my odds right now, and let's cook something up.
Bucks Heat tonight. Bucks minus 7.5 on the road, getting Giannis back. Kind of like this to be a tight one.
Yeah,
I would take the Heat plus 7.5.
Yeah, I like that too. It seems like that line's pretty big for a Giannis doubtful beforehand, and now we'll see what happens. So that'll be interesting to see. That I will also take. I like Miami plus 7.5 there too. I don't think Miami. Well, as we said, Milwaukee needs to win this, and they need to see. I can also. I mean, like, of course, it's the NBA playoffs. You can always see both sides. So I can see them coming in there, going in full speed. Giannis is back. All the momentum, but Heat at home, like to keep it close as well. I like that too. So Lakers versus Grizzlies now with Ja. Lakers minus 5.5 or 5.
I see him at 4.5, and I like that.
Ooh, I like the 4.5.
I think at home, I think they take control of this series.
All right,
Win
so let's
by 10 again.
So we're doing that. Tomorrow's games: Celtics minus 13 now without DeJounte Murray.
Give me it. Give me Celtics at any number. Win
All
by
right.
20.
I'm not gonna fight back on that one. Timberwolves and Nuggets. The Timberwolves are plus 5 or 9.5. Sorry, plus 9.5 away in Denver. I don't know about those points.
I just feel like that should be a bigger line.
So let's see their margin of victory. Normally, they lost this last game, but in the normal margin of victory, it's been 29,
9,
9. All right, so I guess
that's a good line, actually.
I guess it's
like
at the
that.
right line. So I think we should take it. I think the Nuggets take care of business.
I just hate picking the big favorites over and over again. But
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like this could be another Game 5 blowout. It's like, all right, we let you have your win, exerted all your energy to take one game from us, and now, like, we got the home crowd take care of business.
So, Clippers, that line is massive too, plus 12.
12, yeah.
I'm looking back at the history with them too. Let's see what the spread's been in all these. They've been higher
I
than
like the Clippers plus 12. It's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. They just lost by 12, so that would have been a push. And then in the series, they've lost by, what is that? 14 and 5, and then 12, and then they won by 5. Yeah, I like the plus 12. I think even though it's in Phoenix, I don't know if that matters too much. And I think that they play hard. I mean, as we said, Westbrook's not going to let this team roll over. He's been playing great. And for whatever reason, if this Paul George thing is true, I could definitely see it plus 12. Get it while it's hot in case Paul George comes back. So you parlay all that together, put $5 on it, and you could win 124. Ride the Wise parlay for the next 2 days. I like that. I'm actually going to place
Easy
it
money
right now and post it to
What
our
do we
Twitter.
have? Go over them again. We got Heat plus 7.5.
Yep.
Lakers minus 4.5.
Yep.
Celtics minus 13.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets minus 9.5.
Uh-huh.
Clippers plus 12.
Yep. There it goes.
Love it.
So, to wrap this up, you got any college corner?
Things are pretty quiet.
How you feeling about
waiting on
Dickinson?
Hunter still.
Feel like he got a shot?
Oh yeah, he did his podcast from Xfinity parking lot the other day.
Oh.
Because he was visiting Kansas Thursday, and his flight got delayed, so he stayed in College Park and went and worked out with Jameer Young.
Oh, okay.
So I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I haven't heard anything about the other visits and how they've gone. So I've been a little parched in terms of scoops.
Is he
Oh.
Does he have an announcement date yet?
He doesn't even have like a list.
Oh.
It's
You'll
just
be
all
on the list though.
speculation.
Yeah, you'll be on the list.
Oh yeah, they'll be on the list. I would think so.
So, baseball. How about that? How about baseball?
You want me to just give an overview?
Yeah, sure.
Tampa Bay has been the most dominant team to start a season that
Oh,
that I've
I
ever
meant
seen.
college, but yeah, let's go MLB.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go MLB.
All right. Yeah, Tampa Bay 19-3, which is wild. They haven't lost a home game. They're 13-0 at home, which sucks because no one comes to their games because it's Tampa Bay. But they've been the hottest team of the year. Biggest surprise of the year has been the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 16-7 in first place of the NL Central.
Okay, Pirates.
This was a team that was predicted to be like bottom 10, maybe even bottom 5 in
Yeah, I
the whole
remember we
league
talked
this
about
year.
it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Pirates still trash? And you're like, yeah, Pirates are still trash.
Yeah, they're awful. But maybe not. They've got a resurgent Andrew McCutchen, who's 36 years old now, but is playing like his MVP season. So that's been fun to watch. I don't know how long they'll keep it going. This team has been bad for a while, so hopefully they can keep it going this year. Bulls are back, 3 or 4 from the Rockies this weekend. So it's been a rough start, but I think we're righting the ship.
Good. It seems like you were talking about the Phillies, right? Yeah. 11-12, right back where you want to be. You know, just get a couple games over 500. Rocky start, as you said, but yeah, looks like.
I also read an article today about Harper that his recovery from surgery is like quickest in history.
Oh.
He could be back in early May.
Mm.
If everything goes right. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
If you're 500 when you get him back, like you're sitting right where you need to be. There's no worries there. My World Series Guardians are 500 right now. Oh, nothing too special. About the local teams, I guess. The Orioles won 8 of their last 10.
Yeah.
Swept the Tigers. They've won how many in a row? 6 in a row.
They called up some guy today, right?
Good Orioles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Justin
see.
Holiday or Jackson Holiday.
Jackson Holiday? They called him up already?
Mm-hmm. Promoted him.
Oh, promoted him.
Oh, I don't. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know.
High A.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see that.
He went from low A to high A.
Got it.
Yeah, he's like a kid.
I'm looking at his picture. He looks like an infant.
He looks like a baby.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But shockingly good pitching from the Orioles. Have faced probably the easiest schedule in the league. Tigers, Nationals, White Sox, Athletics. Woof. Those are some bad teams, but wins or win. Everyone's in the major leagues. So got the divisional Red Sox coming up, but they've been one of the best teams in the league so far. That's another one where I hope they keep it up. It's like I say, the Knicks being good makes the NBA better. For me, the Orioles being good makes the MLB better, just because they're a local team. Local team. The Nats are awful.
I say it multiple times whenever we talk about the Orioles, but whenever they're good, Baltimore's a different city.
It is, yeah. Camden Yards is so depressing when no one's there. It's actually so fun when people go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great atmosphere and a great place to watch a baseball game.
Looking at the AL East, looks like this could be a dog race. I mean, the Rays are taking control, but the other 4 teams are all right in within each other.
Oh yeah, this is the best division in baseball. The Red Sox being in 12 and 11 and in last place is tough. You'd be second in the AL Central and tied for first in the NL West. You're last in this division. So that's just the way it's going to go, unfortunately. They're not a great team anyway. They'll probably finish around 500, but yeah, this
I've
division
seen
is
nothing good
crazy
about the
good.
Red Sox.
The Orioles were like picked to finish 4th, I think. Well,
Wow.
obviously, it's only been a month, but they've definitely shown signs that they've taken another step forward. A lot of young guys on that team. They just need more pitching because they're not going to be able to keep this up.
Yeah. So has there been like a drought of pitchers in the MLB? Seems like everyone needs pitchers.
They win. Team wins championships. You say it in other sports, defense wins championships. In baseball, it's pitching. So when we talk about the bad team, they need pitching.
Fair enough.
It's been awful because their pitching's been bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have the highest team batting average in the league.
But the worst pitching.
They're still 11 and 12. Pitching's been so bad. Oakland, the Athletics have been historically bad.
They're moving to Vegas.
18 start to the year. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Fortunately, that's probably the best. Because that stadium's a dump and it's just like no financial support in Oakland anymore, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But it does suck for Oakland. Like, they've lost every one of their teams in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Raiders to Vegas. Warriors went from... They just went across to San Francisco, but still.
That's almost worse.
Then... And then hockey gets an expansion team in Vegas. So, yeah, it's a bummer.
Look, and it looks like, I mean, the hockey team in Vegas was the first step. Once that market shot up and they realized that there's a market in Las Vegas, that now there's going to be, I mean, we're going to get an NBA team there, and now the A's are moving there. So they realize that it's a sustainable fan base, and they're now reaping off the rewards. And it's genius. It's genius. I mean, we talked about the Raiders Stadium has a casino in it. You could bet right in the stadium. So it makes perfect sense. I hope they change the name from the A's, though.
Why?
Because I just,
Like
come
the
on.
A's.
The Athletics, it's always been a super lame name.
The Aces.
They could be the Aces.
That's
that's the WNBA team. Yeah, that's true. They can figure out something better than the Athletics. Everyone's athletic. You're playing at Major League Sport. Everyone's athletic. All right. What else we got?
baseball. I mean, I don't want to overreact to anything too much.
Yeah.
Still only not even a month in yet.
Yeah, we're only 21 games in.
Those are my big storylines.
Cool. All right. My side of things, BJ Mack, huge recruit that we're trying to get the transfer here for basketball. He's coming out with I think he's picking a decision later this week. I know that the staff here has been going hard for him. So
saw you making a pitch on Twitter.
Oh, I did make my pitch. I need to make pitches. It worked with Gigi. I just got to get everyone in. Just got to get everyone in. So yeah, I hope that we can get him. We've gotten all the guys that we've gotten recruiting wise and transfer wise have been tall, bigger players. Excited to see how that works. We already got a couple guards in here. So hopefully more rebounding, more easy layups, and more stuff to come. But our baseball team is the story of the campus right now. It feels like 2010, and we're the 3rd ranked team in the country.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
so
for
we swept the number 3 team, Florida. And now that it's gotten us up all the way.
Florida.
We swept them all 3 games.
Impressive.
Yeah. So seeing number 3 next to my school is just always, no matter what sport it is, it's always a great feeling. So
that's nice.
Excited to see more baseball. It sucks though that it's such at the end of the like end of the school year where it's like when they do play in the playoffs and have a home game in the playoffs, I'm not gonna be here, and
Oh yeah, it's not like you can just up on 50 and go see him play.
yeah, exactly. So that's annoying, but always want to see my teams do well, so I'm not gonna, of course, ever root against it. And coming up next, they have Auburn. Another huge matchup for them. Just got to win every SEC, every team that we play. But we're looking good. We're sitting pretty.
Our baseball team is okay. We're winning most of their series, but they really just don't face that tough of competition. I don't think Big Ten baseball is very good.
Yeah, that's the thing about the SEC baseball.
Intense.
Yeah, it's insane.
There's just not a lot of hype for it either.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. Well, does that cover anything else you want to get off your chest before we head out?
I'm set.
Oh, you hit your head.
I just locked in the
Friday.
Wise parlay. I did hit my head. Charity basketball.
Oh,
So yeah, that was a bummer. I didn't even like. It wasn't like I fell and hit it either. Like the kid we were playing against just like whipped the pass, and it hit me right in the face. I went down hard, and somebody who's had like 5 concussions already wasn't just like, "Oh, you're fine."
oh.
Oh, I
Brutal.
had to take a couple days off.
Well, I'm glad. It seems like you're doing better.
But-
Seems like you're doing just fine.
Yeah, no, I'm all right now.
All right, good.
But- Yeah, I catch a break.
All right.
Bicycle helmet around.
Well, thank you, everyone who's listening. Glad you're not in a bicycle helmet, Chris. And we'll see everybody Wednesday. It's different from our normal schedule, so keep it in mind. Put it on your calendar. We'll see everybody on